Welcome to Grace on Fire. We are bravely creating with wild abandon that which sets our hearts on fire. And this evening, we are very blessed and very honored to have a very special guest here who's going to be talking about a very special and wonderful event that's coming up, and that is Neal. So welcome, Aaron.
Thank you. Good to be here.
I'm glad you're here. Very, very glad
Thanks.
You're here.
It was a long trip, but I made it.
You did, all the way across the street. It's really wonderful. And we're here to talk about the event that you are putting on that's coming up here in Salt Lake City at the Salt Palace, and it is Emergence.
Yes.
And we would love to hear. Well, I would like to ask you first, what inspired you to create this magnificent event?
That's a great question. I'll try to be brief. It's kind of a long and winding road. But about 4 years ago, my father passed, which was very unexpected. He was very athletic and, vigorous, and it's just not what we expected or what I expected. So, that really makes you think. And I'd been thinking a lot anyway, and it really made me think. So I just decided I just wanted to shake things up. Not that my life was bad, but I just knew there's something else I want to be doing. And so, that kind of started the process. And I had this idea a couple years ago, but I knew it wasn't the right time. And then last fall, actually, just one day I was actually at the Spiritual Center Salt Lake and went into the library, and it was quiet, and picked up a book, and I just knew it was the right time. And I really think that came about just because I started really kind of opening up and letting go more in my life. Before I'd been trying to force things, and I want this, and I want to design my ideal life, and there's nothing wrong with any of that. But a lot of it, I think this really developed when I, let go. And, years ago when I had this idea, if I felt like it wasn't the right time, I just probably would have, I want to do it now. And so it really it was an idea that came to me. And then at the right time, just the inspiration, it was one of the clearest messages that I've ever had, that now's the time to do the event. And I was like, okay, great. So here we are.
Oh, perfect. Thank you for your patience and waiting for the timing to just all click into place so that we can all reap the benefits of this amazing event. And why don't you share with everyone a little about this event?
Sure.
What is it?
So we're bringing in some speakers, some really great speakers. We're really grateful we got such wonderful people to come. We have Michael Bernard Beckwith, who was in the movie The Secret and is also out of Agape Spiritual Center in LA. He's incredible, amazing speaker, beautiful man. And then we have Byron Katie, which a lot of people know as well. She does something called The Work, and that's really powerful. It helps us to let go of some of our limiting beliefs and ideas that cause our suffering, and really helps us to open up to life in many different ways. And then Eben Alexander is also coming. He was a neurosurgeon, taught at Harvard, and he had a week-long near-death experience. He was in coma for a week. Shook up his whole life, because before that he thought consciousness was just created in the brain and you die and that's it. And so he ended up writing a book called Proof of Heaven, which was a #1 Time New York bestseller. So he's great. He's coming. And then Eric Pearl is coming as well. Eric Pearl was a chiropractor one day, and another day he woke up and started spontaneously healing people. And he didn't believe in any of it either. So he was really skeptical even when he started healing people. And I won't go too much into it, but it's a fascinating story. I guess I'm drawn to a lot of people that just kind of followed the evidence. They were open and they were coming from one direction. That's been my journey, and I think a lot of people's as well. So we have lots of other great speakers, but we won't go into all of them.
But those are the headliners and the highlighters.
Yeah.
And I know two of them very well. Michael Beckwith, we've seen him at Agape and when he was here at the Parliament, and incredible human being, incredible spiritual.
Yeah, and I had seen his videos, and the videos were great. I was a fan. That's why I went to California and flew out there I wanted to meet him in person, invite him in person. But nothing prepared me for experiencing him in person. When he was on that stage, the energy and the love, not just coming from him, but it was I don't think I've ever witnessed anything quite like it. So I'm so excited that other people are going to get to experience that. And he's going to speak, and then he's also going to lead us through something called visioning, which is amazing. It can be it's life-changing for a lot of people, and to be able to have him in person lead us through it I'm so excited about that everyone's going to get to experience that.
So if they go to the event, they'll be able to go through the visioning with Michael Beckwith. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And hear him speak. Now, Byron Katie, I'm actually a coach of the work.
Oh, nice. I didn't know that. Nice.
So I am very excited.
She's amazing.
Very excited.
The interesting thing about Byron Katie is I wasn't thinking of her. I haven't followed her work. I actually, years back, heard about her, looked into it a little bit. I wasn't as open then. And what she does is it's really deceptively simple. And I looked at it and I was like, that doesn't look like much, but I couldn't have been more wrong. And so
powerful.
But the interesting thing was I had most of my speakers and Byron Katie kept popping. Byron Katie, I said, okay, I need to look at Byron Katie. And so I found someone that it was the coach and actually has a meetup. And you can go and experience it. And we went, and they, two different people went through what they call the work. It's a series of simple questions. And I was just amazed. I've never seen people change and transform in real time. You could see a lot of their limiting beliefs, and you could just see them like unraveling in real time. And I said to the gal that was running it, Kathleen Dixon, afterwards, I said...
She was my coach.
Oh, that's
She was
great.
my mentor.
Oh, she's wonderful.
I went through the coaching program.
I said to her, now these women, they seem very open. Surely, this isn't typical, right? That it works, and she goes, no, this is pretty... And I was like, really? And I talked to other people and found that out. So Kathleen was key in helping us bring Byron Katie in. So we're really grateful. And Kathleen's actually going to be doing some workshop breakout sessions as well.
Good.
So so we're excited about that.
She's amazing. Yeah. She is so powerful and so amazing.
So you can see Byron Katie speak Friday evening, and then if you want to go to a workshop and experiencing it with Kathleen, then you can do that as well.
Right. And the amazing thing about the work of Byron Katie, even if someone else is going through the process with Byron Katie or Catherine Dixon, and you can attest to this, just by being present to that session, you have these breakthroughs inside of you. So even if you're not having a chance or you don't want to have a conversation, you just being present in the room, watching someone else go through the process, you will have a breakthrough.
Well, yes, because it will. It stimulates thing in you. You can see the same patterns that this person has. It might be different, and you're like, oh, and you can see how you do that. And the other thing I love is just so simple. I mean, anyone can practice it. So that's one of the big things we wanted with this event. We want to inspire people. We want people to feel that amazing feeling that's particular to a large event like this with a large group of like-minded people. But on the other hand, we also wanted people to actually have practical tools they could take into their life that were simple and easy to apply. I think we've all been to an event and, that was great, and you felt good, and then, nothing happened. And that's okay. But we really wanted the inspiration and the actual applicable things because people need new tools. We need things in this modern world. There's just so much coming at us and so much happening that I think we need new tools and new ways of being to help us reconnect. And so we're really excited that she's coming because it's such a simple but powerful process.
Easy. Anyone can do it. I do it all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't doesn't stop.
It's
Whenever I get triggered,
it's really miraculous.
Turn it around.
It's really miraculous.
It is.
But I think it's because you're doing it. No one's telling you.
Right.
And so it's great. We're excited about that.
Excited. And now what was the brain surgeon? What's his name again?
Eben Alexander.
Eben Alexander. I'm super excited to meet him. And the fact that he was, crossed over, had a near-death experience, and he's going to be sharing with us a little bit about what that is like, correct?
Yeah, he's going to be sharing that. He has a very interesting perspective just because he was a scientist. And so he understands the brain, and he understands how after this experience, the brain can't really be creating everything that we experience as consciousness. And he's also has a partner, Karen Neal, and they have something called Sacred Acoustics. And Sacred Acoustics is amazing. It's audio programs and they will lead us on a group sound journey, and we'll get to experience that. And they have an audio engineer he's a genius, he's a technical genius and very artistic. And so you listen to these, I won't go into the technical too much, but it creates different brainwave patterns by having different signals coming in each ear. And really the result is you're able to, the first time you listen to it, get into deep meditative states. So it's fantastic for anyone, but especially a lot of people are like, I know meditation's beneficial, I've seen the studies, but I just have a really hard time. This is a great thing for people. And even if you do meditate, I actually do both. I do these acoustic programs and the meditation. And so that's going to be really amazing. And he's going to talk about how that can help us to access the parts of the consciousness that we all want to access and have more living, that peace and love and joy, that true nature within us, the eternal, infinite nature. And these programs, I've tried numerous audio programs, and there's a lot of good ones out there, but these are really singular in the quality and how good they sound, and the enjoyability, and in the effect as well.
Wow. So this is going to be a huge treat. There's also some music, correct? Some music, and tell us about some of the other fun things that people will be able to enjoy.
We want to mix it up. We want to have inspiration, but we also want, engagement and sometimes some fun as well. And so, we're going to have, it'll just kind of depend, on when it is, but after breaks and come back, we'll usually have a song, usually live music before the speaker. We'll have some things that are kind of more of a sound bath, meditative. Saturday evening, we're planning on bringing someone in that's, a little more upbeat. If people after the speakers want to stay around for that, we're going to show some short video vignettes as well. The speakers are the centerpiece, of course. But we have some other interesting things that I think will make it really engaging and interesting. And music is, one of the best ways to bring in different emotions, different feelings, a different spirit to things. So we're excited. We've got some great people doing that.
Add some beautiful life and energy and make it festive, transformational, a community event.
Yeah, and a lot of things, I'll just add that to that too. A lot of our speakers offer experiential things that, you get a group sound journey. Michael Beckwith's going to do the visioning, and a lot of it's internal, but they're leading us through processes and exercises. It's great to listen to them and hear it, but then it's even more powerful when you have a process and something that you can do that will engage more of you and really deepen that kind of learning and perspective shifts. Absolutely.
It sounds like it's a very well-rounded,
we're excited.
Deep, transformational, also fun and celebratory, and it's going to be a great time.
Yeah, I can't wait for people to come and experience it.
Yeah.
And especially in Utah, because Utah doesn't really get things like this much. And
them all coming together.
Yeah, you have a lot of stuff like this in California and some in Arizona. And so when I was initially doing this, and we have a lot of people traveling in from out of state as well. We're doing like fall color tours on Friday before the event down to Sundance or up to Park City.
Nice.
So we have a lot of people coming in from out of state that can see some of the great scenery and mountains and experience this. But when I was thinking about doing this, I thought, oh, should I do it here? Should I do it somewhere else? And my background was, business, sales, marketing. And my rational mind's like, well, this market is bigger and, but I just really felt like Utah was the place that it should be. And initially I was going to really think, we're going to get most people out of state and we'll get some in Utah. But I kept getting the feeling of no, like really focus on Utah more. Like that just was what felt like the right thing to do. And I'm really excited about that, to bring together some people in Utah. And after this event, we want to continue to do some things here in Utah. Might not always be on this big of scale, but we want to have there's some great local people as well. And we really want it to be the start of something, really good here in Utah. So.
Absolutely. And you're planning this being an annual event, correct?
That's still up in the air. I'm open. I have two other events that I want to do. And so it may be in every other year. It may actually be every third year.
People need to come this year, right?
It may be every third year. I'm almost leaning towards one event a year. I have some other things that I'm interested in pursuing. So I'm actually kind of leaning towards once every 3 years. But the next one won't be in Utah. I'm sure we'll come back at some point. But I like the idea of moving around and giving different cities, having it there. So it might be a little while before we have the next one.
Well, let all our listeners know all the details: where, when, how,
Sure.
why, your website,
Yeah.
everything they need to know. So if they've been inspired by this conversation and they're like, wow, it's in Utah this year, it's not going to be, I want to go. This is it's a 3-day event, correct?
Yeah, it's October 19th to the 21st.
Okay.
And we're offering both full day tickets to all 3 events, and then also single day tickets. We definitely encourage people to come all 3 days. It's going to be amazing. But, we know for some people that, there's some constraints that will make that difficult. So we're also offering 1-day tickets as well. And then what else did you want to know? What other details? Oh yeah, thank you. Salt Lake City. It's in the Salt Palace, which is a beautiful, great venue right downtown.
Right.
We have what we call an inclusive pricing system. It's a little unconventional, but we really wanted everyone to be able to attend that wants to. And so we call it pay an amount that feels right to you. We know that for most events like this, with these type of speakers, are over $500. Sometimes you'll see them go up to $1,000. But $500 to $600 is kind of the minimum.
Yeah.
And we just knew that's just not going to work for a lot of people, and we wanted to expand it and have it to be more open. So we created a system where you can see based on what your current financial situation is, and that you can choose different payment amounts. And people that can just pay the minimum, we're happy to have them, or that contributes and helps. And people that are able to pay more, then they're able to help others to come. And so, really, if we work all together, everyone can be able to attend. And we're also offering, we do have some scholarships available as well. We really just want everybody to be able to come that really wants to. So,
thank you so much for joining us for Grace on Fire. Thank you, Aaron, Neal, for joining us and sharing with this amazing event, Emergence 2018. And you can go to the website, emergence2018.org, and find out much more information about the event here, right locally at Salt Lake City, Utah. Thank you, Aaron, so much for being here. So great to have you.
Thanks.
And thank you, listeners. Thank you for being Grace on Fire. May you have a most beautiful and blessed day. Namaste.
All right,
Thank you. Worked out good. Thank you, Aaron.